In probability, we have three basic theorems that we need to be discussed. First one is addition theorem, second multiplication, and the third one is Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem is also called as inverse probability. Now, see the formulas on the right side. The first one indicates the theorem of addition theorem, and this is the third formula which indicates the multiplication theorem formula, and the second one indicates the formula of Bayes theorem. Now, let's start with the first one, addition theorem. Addition theorem means, let's see the statement of addition theorem first. The probability of happening of at least one of the two events A and B is given by P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Here you need to remember two things, one which is union and the second one is intersection. Union is addition, intersection is multiplication all the time. And we had an habit of using these Venn diagrams to solve the proofs of this addition theorem. Now let's see how do we go with the proof of addition theorem. Once again, I'll discuss the statement. See, the probability of happening of at least one of the two events A and B is given by P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now, we have to prove that LHS is equal to RHS here. To do that, see, let us see first of all what is the statement. At least one means what? Minimum one. See, let us suppose there are 5 events are there. There are 5 events are there. At least one means what? One, at least one should happen means one can happen, or 2 out of 5 can happen, 3 out of 5 can happen, 4 out of 5, or maximum 5 out of 5 can happen. That situation is called as at least. Okay, at most means maximum, at least means minimum. Since there are only two events over here, we say that at least one of two events, A union B. Now A can happen, B can happen, both A and B can also happen. See, the formula explains the same thing. Probability of A means A can happen and B also can happen, and both at a time can also be happen. So this is what the situation is. Now to solve this one, I'll use the Venn diagram over here. What is a Venn diagram indicates here? Let us suppose this rectangle box is a sample space which is defined by capital S. Okay. Now let's take an example of our alphabets. A to Z alphabets are there. Similarly, there are n events are there. Now, a coin, tossing of a coin is having how many number of events? Man, we have only two outcomes. A die is having 6 faces. Cards are having 52. So total number of exact events are how many? 2, 6, and 52 in those cases. Now, I wanted to assume, I'm assuming there is one experiment which is resulting in n exhaustive outcomes. Exhaustive means total number of outcomes of a random experiment is called exhaustive events. Now, there are n outcomes are there. Out of n outcomes, I want to consider only two outcomes here. That means two events here, that which is A and B, and where there is some intersection part for both A and B also is existing over here. Now, this is not a perfect circle here. This is the elliptical shape. The first elliptical shape is A. Second complete elliptical shape is called as B. And there is some common point for A and B, and that is called as A intersection B. Okay. Now, if I do not want to consider this intersection part, see my cursor, see it's running from here and this part. That means you are avoiding intersection part, and that part is called as A intersection B bar. A intersection B bar. A intersection B bar means what? See, now we have the formula on the left side. A intersection B bar means complete circle A minus intersection part A intersection B. That means this remaining part is called as A intersection B bar. Similarly, we have second part. That means A bar intersection B is nothing but complete B circle minus intersection part. So that means B minus A intersection B. I'll be using this Venn diagram as well as these two formulas to find out our proof. Okay. So now, how many exhaust events are there here? Total number of exhaust events are n, this one. Okay. Now let's start with the statement here. Let an experiment results in capital N mutually exhaustive events, n mutually exhaustive events within a sample space of capital S. And this complete rectangle is called as a space, a sample space. Okay. Then by the definition of probability, we have now then by definition of probability, I'm going to say the left hand side and I'm going to try to prove our right hand side. Definition of probability. What do we have from the definition of probability? Probability formula means what? Favorable number of cases by total number of exhaustive cases. Favorable number of cases means what? Favorable number of cases of A union B divided by total number of exhaustive events are how many are? Capital N. Okay. Definition of probability says that probability of A is nothing but number of favorable events of A divided by total number of exhaustive events. Similarly, P of A union B is equal to N of A union B divided by capital N. Capital N is exhaustive cases where N is nothing but favorable number of cases of event. N indicates the same thing. Now, by using this one, let us continue further. Now, what do you mean by A union B? See here, A intersection B means this common part, but A union B means complete two circles. Complete two circles, elliptical shapes over here. Complete two elliptical shapes means what? How many parts do we have here? First part, second part, and third part. That means I need to add three of them, right? So now, N of A union B is nothing but N of A union B is nothing but I'll use this formula for us. Okay. Now, first one is N of A intersection B bar plus N of A intersection B plus N of A bar intersection B whole divided by capital N. Let me keep this in a brackets. I'll explain with this explanation. See, A union B means what? A union B means A intersection B bar plus A intersection B plus A bar intersection B. The combination of complete two circles is called as A union B. So I'm expanding my formula of A union B as A intersection B bar plus A intersection B plus A bar intersection B. Okay. But what is A intersection B bar formula? What is A intersection B bar formula? A minus A intersection B. As well, A bar intersection B is nothing but B minus A intersection B. Yes or no? So let's expand it. Now, A intersection B bar is equal N of A minus N of A intersection B. That is our first formula, and this remains as usual. Okay, N of A intersection B remains as usual plus next one. A intersection B bar means what? N of B minus N of A intersection B. Okay. A intersection B bar means A minus A intersection B. A bar intersection B means B minus A intersection B. And as well, our denominator remains same. Okay. Our denominator remains same. that is equal. Now what I would like to do, see here, minus n of A intersection B and plus n of A intersection B can get cancelled, right? Because minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. Similarly, minus n of A intersection B plus n of A intersection B gets cancelled. So what is the remaining answer we have here? After deleting those two, I have this concept. Now, n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Now, what do? I would like to bring up this capital N into the bracket side. Now, then what do we have? N of capital A divided by capital N plus n of B divided by capital N minus n of A intersection B divided by capital N. So that indicates what? See now, just now we were saying that favorable number of cases divided by exhaustive cases means what? Probability, right? So n of A divided by capital N means what? Probability of A. That means P of A formula. What do you mean by the formula of P of A? Favorable number of cases of A divided by total number of exhaustive cases. So next one, in the similar way, it becomes what? P of B minus P of A intersection B is equal. Did we get the RHS man? We have started with C. We have started with P of A union B and we have ended up with the RHS. Now, therefore, P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Hence, the theorem is proved. Now, after this, we have some three cases to be discussed immediately after this proof. What is that? If A and B are disjoint events or exclusive events. See, in our actual proof, there is some intersection point between A and B. Now, if there is no intersection point over here, then what is the formula remains as? Our formula is P of A union B is equal to P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B. Why? Because there P of A intersection B is equal to 0 here. Okay, since there is no intersection point, P of A intersection B becomes 0. So once you substitute 0 here, what is the remaining formula we get? P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B, when A and B are exclusive or disjoint events. Now, we have case number 2. What is case 2? If A, B, C are three events in a sample space, then in the statement of addition theorem, I have taken only two, A and B, in a sample space. Now let us suppose if three events are there and if three are being intersected, then what is the formula we have? P of A union B union C is equal to P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B minus P of B intersection C minus P of C intersection A. Since we are subtracting 3 times, we add it 1 time. Okay, so that is P of A intersection B intersection C. Why we are adding that means, see, A intersection means A intersection C means this complete part. A intersection B means this complete. B intersection means this complete part. That means since we are removing this part 3 times, I'm adding 1 time over here. So this is the formula over here. Now for suppose case number 3, this is the final one. Again, if A, B and C are disjoint events, then we have P of A union B union C is equal to P of A plus P of B plus P of C, and the remaining all these things, events will become 0, because since they are not intersecting, the value of intersections will become zeros over here.